And hello everyone, welcome back once again to CSC 151 Computer Applications. Just got done a bit of grading, so I'll go and make these videos for this next week. So in this video, we're going to go over if statements. We've already done if statements in Excel, and now it's time to do them in Python. So an if statement is very simple like this. So if I were to say x equals, I don't know, say x equals 10, I simply now have to say if, and in these parentheses, because there's the start of my if statement, there's the end of my if statement, if x double equals 10, so I'm going to check to see if x equals 10, which we know is true, colon. Now the colon is important. The colon basically means, now you see how this line is indented? That means this line right here that I'm typing in will only happen if this statement is true. So you'll only get down here if the statement is true. So you can also test that by using this little drop down arrow or this little arrow right here. Anything that's inside the arrow will only happen if the statement is true. Anything outside so this is true, this is part of true, this is part of true. The minute I hit the delete button and go back to this line, this aisle right here where I'm all the way on the left hand side, this part is not part of this if statement. So you see, everything in here only happens if the if statement is true. If the if statement is false, it will be skipped and will go over to right here. So this is one of those situations where the indentations actually matters. And if you don't have that if you don't have the colon, you won't have the indentation. So you need to make sure your if statement ends with a colon. There we go. And I could just simply say something like, print, huzzah. So you'll see that it'll print huzzah because this part right here is true. If I change x to say 5, nothing will print because this is false. Therefore, the print huzzah never happens. But this printing, outside does happen because outside is not contingent upon if this statement is true. Now, you're probably wondering, what exactly am I using a double equals for? Okay? Double equals literally means, we're checking something. So if we think of it like this, single equals declares. I'm saying right here, x is 5. You are 5. So this declares. This guy, though, compares. The double equal sign is asking, are you 10? So x, are you 10? This is saying you are. This is saying are you. That makes sense. This declares, this compares. And also we can use it for, stuff like saying less than equal to. And there now you'll see huzzah and outside both work. Or greater than or equal to, which obviously now no longer works because 5 is not greater than 10. Or I could simply say with an exclamation mark equals not equal to. And now you'll see that, 5 is not equal to 10. Therefore, this statement was true, and it will print huzzah. And of course, these same sort of rules will work with, text. So if I say squishy, and if squishy does not equal 10, it'll print huzzah. And it still doesn't print huzzah. But if I go and say, if squishy does not equal squishy, now you'll see that huzzah no longer happens. So we can, in fact, always wind up having this work for strings just as well as integers. Now, the other thing is knowing about nesting. So you can, if you want, put an if statement inside of an if statement. So if I can say if x is, less than 8, and I could do it on the semicolon, I can also print right there and say, x is less than 8. And I can also do another if statement somewhere in there if, x is less than 6. I could, print out again something like along the lines of like print, x is less than 6. Matter of fact, I'll even just say this right here, x is less than 10. So you'll see this guy was true, so it went here. And this guy was also true and was inside this part, so it went to there. This guy was also inside this part, and it was true and it went to there. Now I'll just make one that says, if, x is less than 4, I will print out, x is less than 4. And you'll notice, no matter how much I hit play, it doesn't actually select less than 4. So this guy was false, and it doesn't go there. But it still was able to reach this point. And if I switch what x is, if I make x 7 or whatever, you'll see x was less than 10, x was less than 8. And these two guys were false, so it never gets there. Even if right down here, because I know x is 7, and I over here have equals double equals 7, even though this guy's true, it will never get to this because the one that's nested first is false. So because x is not less than 6, this guy never gets counted. And so does this if statement never get counted because it's inside of this. If I move this out of it and put it outside of that chain, now we'll have the x is less than 4 pop up because, it says x equals 7. So the order of where you put things in this indentation chain will matter what has to happen first and second and third. So sort of a situation like this where if I were to say, if I had like an age calculator and I checked to see if you were greater than 55, it would tell you you're a senior citizen. But if not, if you're not older than 55, but you're still older than 18, it will still say you're an adult. Or if you're greater than, greater than 12, it'll say you're a teenager. Okay, so on and so forth. But if I screw that up and reverse it, and if I say greater than, 1, you're a toddler, well, it'll say you're a toddler before it'll ever check any of these other ones. So even if you have a 75-year-old person, it'll tell them they're a toddler because of the order you did it in. So make sure whenever you're using nested if statements that you're making sure that you realize what question you probably need to ask first. Oh wait, where did we do that before? That's right, flowcharts. So yeah, in the next video I'm going to go into some modifications we can use in an if statement, mainly the options of and or. See you in the next video. You have a great day.